Hello, this is Kitty and this is a video on how to mount and frame your finished embroidery piece. So you've finished your piece, you're super proud of it, you want to show it off, so you have wisely bought a frame as well. These frames are handmade and designed by me to specifically fit these pieces. They're laser cut, I then stain them and varnish them, and you attach your piece using Velcro. So if you have bought a frame and framing kit, included in the package is obviously a frame, a bag of gold pins, 2 sticks of Velcro, 8 dots each, and a foam board. What you will additionally need is some scissors, some drawing pins or push pins, and some fabric glue. And you will also have your finished embroidery piece, obviously. I actually don't have a finished embroidery piece to spare at the moment. I framed all of mine without remembering to make a video, foolishly. So I'm using this. This is actually a misprint. They printed all the crocodiles on yellow instead of orange, so I've got loads of these and I need to think of what to do with them. So you've got your, let me just check it's right. You've got your foam board here, and on one side is nothing. On the other side you can see 4 crosses. These 4 crosses are going to be what you stick the Velcro to. So you don't want to mount it on this side. So turn it over onto the blank side. This is actually a very irritatingly uneven surface. I found a huge book. Right, that would be better. So, got your board, no crosses on that side. And you want to get your finished piece so it's exactly in the middle of the board. Obviously you're never going to be exactly precise with this, but you can kind of see it through the fabric. It doesn't need to be perfect because you can change it as well at the end, but I can see that it's basically, the board is exactly behind the design. And what you want to do is get your drawing pins, push pins, and you want to start securing the fabric into the foam board using the push pins. So leaving about maybe 1.5 to 2 inch gaps. The first side, just, you don't pull anything, just try and keep it as steady as possible. You're going to be taking all of these out quite soon, so they just really don't need to be perfect. If you can feel the fabric slipping or anything, just keep zhuzhing it around until it feels like it's in the right place. So that's your first side. It doesn't, looks all right. Then going around to the next side. And just remember to keep making sure, there's this much in between this bit and that bit. There's around the same there. That actually looks like there's a bit more here. So I'm going to pull this bit up a bit just to try and keep it even around all the sides. So this is where now you're going to want to start stretching it a little bit. So can you see that? So it's all, you can see it's super loose here, and really often with embroidery, especially in pieces like the heron that have got sort of very thick, dense embroidery bits, the material becomes quite puckered and no amount of ironing will get rid of it. Although it probably is worth giving your piece an iron before you start this, but you don't really need to because of the stretching. So you're now going to start pulling your fabric, not super hard yet, you're going to start pulling it like that. So just check you can see. So it starts to become taut. And it doesn't matter if it all looks kind of rubbish here at the moment. It will get better soon. It helps if you stand it up like this, so you can get it really taut. And I'm kind of zhuzhing it up like that, so it's just stretched out, and that will just get rid of all of the creases in the fabric, which is key. Oh, another blunt one. Okay, so now you can see I've gone around 3 edges. It's still looking pretty creased. So this now is when we're going to start really stretching it. So it doesn't matter if it makes wrinkles because we can go around again. So we now start to really pull it. Obviously don't stretch it so much that it becomes sort of warped, but just sort of wrinkle it up, zhuzh it up like that. So now you have a stretched piece. A lot of the wrinkles are out, but not all of them. So you can identify your problem areas. So for example here, this bit, you can see that it's quite loose here. If we stretch that, so you can take out, I don't know, 3 here, 2 here, and go again. Just really stretch it. So yeah, I would say it's looking pretty good. Here's a wrinkle you can see, or what's it called? A crease. So I would take out this one, the opposite one, these two, and just pull it up even more to get rid of that. And you have to have quite good finger strength, maybe. You want to make sure as well that the border is basically straight. So for example, if you've really stretched this pin up here, you don't want this guy to be all the way up and these down low. So you've just got to make sure that they're basically in a straight line-ish all the way around. Obviously, it's a sewing project. There are going to be imperfections in it, but you want it to be straight-ish. And the main thing is that you want it to be taut. So the next thing you want to do once you're happy with your piece is get your gold pins. I would find somewhere actually to sort of empty them out. Where can I put it? So they don't all get messed up, but you don't want to carry, you don't want to be sort of reaching into the bag the whole time because it'll be painful. So these are your gold pins. These are what is going to stay in. So you want to go around removing the drawing pins and replacing with a gold pin. Try not to put them in exactly the same hole as you put the drawing pins, because the drawing pins are thicker than the gold pins, and so sometimes the gold pins will be kind of loose. But basically just go around adding the gold pins. So I have gone round with my gold pins all the way around and stretched the fabric. I can see, you know, there are 1 or 2 bits on the side. I think this bit looks still a little bit loose, so just add another pin in there. Make sure it's really stretched. Any bits that you see that look a bit slack, like here as well, a little bit slack. Stick a pin. So yeah, I think probably if this was an actual real embroidery piece, I might spend a tiny bit more time on it, but you get the idea. Just go around until you're happy with how it looks and there are no wrinkles. So you've done that bit. Now you have all of this excess fabric. So we obviously don't want the fabric to be sort of flapping around. You need it to be secured under. So this is where your fabric glue comes in, and right around the edge, you want to just do a thin line of glue. Oh, this one's nearly run out, but it really doesn't need to be very much, just enough to sort of vaguely stick it down. And it's really important that you do it right as close to the edge of the foam board as you can. If you do it sort of here or here, then you're not going to have space to stick your board. Yeah, and then like that. There. And then you're going to fold it over like that. Got it like that. And you can see we've got the problem of these corners. Don't worry about them, because we're going to just snip them once everything's dry. So now you just basically want to leave that. Try and press the corners down as much as you can, but you just want to leave that to dry. Sometimes it's quite good to put, as you're leaving it to dry, put weights on it, things that you don't mind getting a bit of glue on, just to make sure the corners are kind of neat down like this. What else can I use? Water bottle. Actually, I can see there's a bit more glue needed here. So just make sure everything is tight. And a candle. Okay. Nice. So now you're just going to wait until that's completely dry, so a couple of hours. So this is now dryish. Take off your weights. And you want to trim all of this excess fabric, basically. So get your scissors. I mean, this is just quite obvious. Can start by cutting the corners, because we don't want them to come out. So cut the corners, and then you can just cut all the way down here. What you really need to make sure is that you can see your 4 crosses, because that's where your Velcro is going to go. You might at this point realize you need a little bit more glue, like I am realizing now. So this is a lesson to actually put quite a lot of glue. Like this bit's coming off. I mean, it won't make a difference in the end because they're secured with the pins, but you can at this point add a little bit more glue, and you can even add more weights onto it so that it really sticks down. But you have now got your finished piece. So the next bit is really the easiest bit. You get your frame, and I have made on the frame 4 crosses like this. So you have your sticks of Velcro. Doesn't matter which, there's like a soft one and a scratchy one. Doesn't matter which goes where. So the 4 crosses exactly correspond with these 4 crosses here. My dad has checked the maths, so it is, well, it should be right. This is actually the first time I've done it with the maths method instead of the guess method, so I'm pretty hopeful this is going to be great. So really stick these down. Make sure they're super stuck. So that was the 4 scratchy ones. And now on the back of your piece, I'm going to put 4 soft ones. And they should just line up. This method means that you can take your piece out really easily. So obviously when you do all the kits, you can swap whichever frame they're in. Make sure to cut any sort of excess threads that are going on here, because you might see them. And then there should be 1/2 centimetre gap in between each thing. This is 1 centimetre bigger than this. So you want to just line it up, shush it around a bit, make sure it's stuck, and yeah, there you go. If you've accidentally put it to one side a bit, you should just be able to unstick it and re-stick. Upside down. Actually, yeah, I can see I've left too much room at the bottom there. So just gonna go again. And yeah, you just keep going really until you've got it perfect. Don't yank it because the Velcro might come off. I mean, I don't think it will, but just be gentle with it. So if you have any questions, just ask me, and I hope this has been an informative video and I haven't been too rambling.